I am delighted to see that at least 44 athletes that have been publicly out will compete at the Games, honouring the Olympic values of excellence, respect and friendship. I'm also delighted to see that the Pride flag will fly high in Milano and Cortina. Sports is about everyday life, and we need to be ourselves in our everyday life. So we need to be able to have our identity in sports when we compete, when we are at the audience, etc. Everyone has the right to participate in cultural life, and this means that no matter what are the layers of our own identity, we need to be able to carry them with us when we compete in sports, but also when we play sports as an everyday activity or when we are at the audience. The International Olympic Committee has the framework on fairness, inclusion and non-discrimination on the basis of gender identity and sex variations. And this is a very important document which reflects the human rights. So everyone has the right to participate in sports according to Article 15 of the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights. But of course, we are all aware that recent developments raise serious concerns. Several international federations have adopted or announced eligibility regimes that go against the diversity of athletes. They even go as to mandatory genetic sex testing or rigid biological criteria as a condition for participation in the women's category. And all these screams about how we should ensure that there is what people say fairness in sports hide intolerance and hide this fear of diversity. Now they go against especially trans athletes. Before they were against LGBT, gay athletes, and even before they have been against women. So it is just the same line of thought. It is this line of thought that says that somebody else is in control of and should be in control of our bodies. And somebody else, usually male, belonging to the majority, have to decide on one's identity. It is also the same line of thought that says that vulnerability is to be disrespected. So that's why they are quite intolerant to people that are indeed marginalized and have been marginalized and discriminated against for a long time. So what we all need to do, we need to stand united and continue to be vocal about how we are not going to accept violations and unnecessary restrictions to human rights of everyone. We need to be calm, and sometimes this is difficult, and we need to continue pushing for the respect of human rights. There are indeed restrictions of human rights that the state can take, and private bodies and public bodies. But these restrictions have to follow very specific reasons. There has to be a legitimate reason. And here, these restrictions against people who are gay or people who are trans or etc. are not really justified. So it is not about fairness. It is about inclusion. And it is not about fairness because, especially when it comes to the trans debate that we see these days, it's as if sports is only about power, about physical power. And this undermines what sports is all about. It is about mental strength. It is about thinking quick on one's feet. It is about flexibility. It is about so many other things. They want us to believe that they have the best intentions in mind, but really they are the same people that have a very specific ideal of the sportswoman and a very specific ideal of who a sportsman should be. We, as I said, have to stand together united, and we have to remind people that the way we defined women, The way we understood men and we understood women has changed. And now we know that there are a lot of different genders in between, and we support all these genders, and we are here for everyone who is marginalized or who becomes vulnerable just because they want to preserve and celebrate their identity. I stand very much with you, and I hope to be able to continue this discussion very soon. Thank you.